Our dear viewers, once again, we are having a program here, Agriculture and Technology. And we can also be accessed online. You can just type in Rite TV Uganda, and you will be able to view many more programs on our television. Be blessed.
Yes, so we'll start from here, I think. What you're looking at here is 2.5 months. This size that
these are 2.5.
Yeah, yes. This is 2.5 months to 3. So first of all, you need to know, and I'm going to take you through the whole process. But first of all, you need to know that the tomato growth period or duration is 3 months.
3 months.
Yes. After transplanting. So you come from the nursery bed to the main garden, and then you spend 3 months, and then you start harvesting. So this is 2.5. So by...
If you don't mind, if I can take you back, let's start from the seed.
Yes.
How do you get to know that this is the right seed, and as far as your experience is concerned?
Exactly. So the seed, I came with something here. The seeds that you buy need to be certified. Yeah.
Certified, what do you mean?
They need to be, first of all, the company that is selling them needs to be one of those that is well known by the regulatory authorities, agriculture. So the seed that you buy needs to be certified. In that way you are sure it's been tested and it's not, bad seed. We'll talk about the diseases later on. Bacterial wilt is seed-borne, so you will buy seeds from somewhere or seedlings. So I prefer to buy seeds and not seedlings from the nursery bed.
You mean you can almost end up buying, if you buy a seed from a wrong source, it can come when it is already infected?
Exactly.
Oh,
yes.
Contaminated seed?
Yes.
Oh, that's a new one. Okay.
Yes, from the wrong source. And there are many ways of extracting these seeds, even from tomatoes that you've produced. So many people in villages, and I've seen them around, they come and say, okay, now that your season is ending, please give us these remaining tomatoes, and we go and get seeds. And then they make a nursery bed, and then they sell to other people. So if your garden has diseases in it, then you carry the diseases to some other place. But most importantly, bacterial wilt is one of those AIDS-like diseases that you cannot do anything about. Once you have it, and it's a done deal. You have to uproot. So
how do you detect that disease?
Well, it's the plant itself. It starts dying from the roots. Yeah, so it dries up at whatever stage it would be, probably in a month or a month and a half, the plant will suddenly dry up, and when you pull it out, the roots are, they are rotten. So there's many diseases that cause root rot, but bacterial wilt is one of the most dangerous ones, which you may not necessarily cure. Yes, so certified seed. I prefer to use Novel, and I mentioned Novel because I also found out about Novel from one of the programs, which is like yours. I was somewhere online, and I was reading. After trying out very many other varieties, and we'll talk about the varieties and their characteristics. Yes.
So the other varieties didn't work in this environment.
This
is your best.
They worked, but you see, when you're choosing a variety, and this is another important thing, there are some parameters you need to look into. Disease resistance is one of them. You need to also look into shelf life. So some tomatoes will spend 2 days, 3 days, and they will rot. Others will spend a week and they will start rotting. Others will spend up to 3 weeks, like this.
After harvesting, and they stay for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
And still, that is feedback from my my end customers. Yes, I get feedback, and they tell me this thing. I actually call them and I say, okay, do I bring you another? They say, no, the ones you brought,
they are still okay. Wow.
So
that's very important kind of information.
Yes, it's very important information. So we chose So this is good for large-scale production because if you're producing and you have buyers from, say, South Sudan, then the time they'll take on the road
there's transporting time
is also accounted for.
Okay.
Yeah. From the seed, you see? Yes.
Wow. That's how
that's
important.
So, but for me, disease resistance and the shelf life, those are the most important things. But what probably the viewers need to understand is that disease resistance does not mean immunity. You know, people say, this one, no, it's okay. When you are buying in I get them from downtown. I say, no, this is the best. And then when a disease comes, the person is, reluctant or they are relaxed and it wipes them out. So disease resistance doesn't mean immunity. It just means it will not wipe out the plant as fast as other. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you have the seed, for us we use what we call polythene pot bags to create the nursery bed. These are 2-inch polythene pot bags open on both ends. Yeah, here and here. So we fill them with soil, and I'll talk about the soil in a bit, but we fill them with soil and then leave them for up to 3 weeks. Oh, another element you would want to look out as you're buying seeds is the time they take in the nursery bed and in the garden.
Exactly.
Yeah, some seeds take 90 days in the garden, others take up to 85, others take up to 70. In the nursery bed, some take 4 weeks, others take 3 weeks. So I chose the ones that take 3 weeks. Yeah, so you fill these.
For economic kind of
yes, you want to get to the market faster.
I can understand.
Before everyone else. Yes, so we fill these with soil and plant 2 seeds in each one.
Just 2 seeds, 1, 2, put it in the...
in each of these.
Okay.
You see? It should be 1 seed, but to increase the germination rate, we put 2. So sometimes both of them will come out, sometimes one will come out, and others will, die out. So that means in an acre, it's estimated that you would use 10,000 seeds.
10,000 seeds per acre.
Per acre. So that means if we are planting, we will plant about 15,000. We choose to go the extra mile.
I can understand.
Yes, we plant 15,000 so that in the end, if the other ones don't germinate, you have at least your
fallback position.
Yes, your 10,000. And then, yes, so the nursery bed starts for up to 3 weeks. So you have to...
How things you cover, nursery bed, temperature control.
Exactly. So you have to create a shade for the nursery bed because you don't want the direct sunlight to hit the very vulnerable. Yes, and you need to put it in an area that is relatively open. So you don't have, say, those trees on one side and then you have, close to the garden itself. It needs to be relatively open.
Doesn't need to be there.
Yes, because you don't want the area, the humidity to be high. So yes, and then, so we create a shelter with, this normal grass. Yes, on the nursery bed.
Like you put sticks.
Yes, we put sticks.
Make kind of a roof.
Exactly.
Then spread the grass.
Exactly. We spread it on top and keep irrigating or watering them for up to 3 weeks.
How often do you irrigate? Like within a day, how many times do you irrigate?
No, you would say in a week we would irrigate thrice.
Thrice?
Yes.
In a week?
Yes.
So it's not a daily kind of activity?
No, because you don't want the soil to be damp. Yes, something else that I should mention before I forget is that tomatoes do well in well-drained soils, so they will not do well in waterlogged soils. Yeah, so where we plant our mayuni, tomatoes will not
work in those swampy areas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you also don't want the nursery bed to be, waterlogged or damp.
So some people take advantage of swampy areas during the dry season because there is some moisture.
Exactly.
So that can't work. That can't work with tomatoes the way it works with other crops.
Yes, it works with other crops, but as long as the area is waterlogged, your tomatoes will not do well.
Very interesting.
Diseases and the whole thing will just rot. Yes. So that's essentially the nursery bed. You wait 3 weeks, and your tomatoes, your seedling should be very strong.
Do you have any spraying of chemicals at a seedling level?
Unless you notice some diseases coming up, there is no spraying that happens at.
Like what signs do you have to see to spray?
Yeah, so the leaves will start getting black spots on them, or they'll start yellowing. So if you notice that is
that's an early warning.
Yes, that's a very, very early warning, especially in the rainy season. If you plant your nursery bed in the rainy season, so what we noticed, what I have learned, is that when it rains and droplets keep bouncing off the soil into your nursery bed, then I don't know, they come with the diseases or they cause some sort of diseases as a result. And so that's where you would do spraying, but not, the doses are not the same as what you would have in the main garden. They are slightly less, but you find a way of managing them.
So the concentration of the chemical,
yes,
is at a lower end.
There is a lower concentration.
Okay.
And we shall talk about the concentrations as we go along.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so then you transplant after the 3 weeks. So garden preparation before you transplant, like I mentioned, it needs to be an area that has well-drained soil, and that's why I liked this area. Number 2, it needs to be an area that has not had a tomato garden for at least 2 to 3 years.
Why?
Because anything less than that, then you would still have the pests and diseases in the area. Yeah. So if you're choosing an area, like we do these days, we rent, land, and then we say, I want to put this, I want to put that. You need to be sure that there haven't been tomatoes, or there hasn't been a tomato garden on that same place for the last 2 years. Worst case scenario, really, 2 years. Yes, and then you clear the land, you flatten it. If it is a forest, so for us here, this whole thing that you see was a forest.
I can see tree stumps around there.
These are 3.5 acres. It was a forest, eucalyptus forest. Environmentalists should not come and arrest me. No, we are doing good.
Yes.
So this whole place was a forest, and so we cleared it and made sure the place is flat. We removed the stumps, so you don't want all those roots.
So it was a planted forest of eucalyptus.
Yes.
We are trying to clarify that.
Not
it's not a natural forest.
Not a natural one. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, and so I was saying we cleared the stumps and then we flattened the land with a tractor.
So you want to tell me on this land now you bring in such heavy equipment?
Yes.
How economic is that?
It's very economical because in terms of, meanwhile, remember my reason for doing tomatoes and this level of farming was partly economics. And economics, you're talking about the cost, time, and human resource. Yeah. So if for the tractor example, you consider the time and human resource, it is more economical to use that machine than to bring 10 women to dig 3 acres.
That is if they can manage them.
Or someone will argue that, no, I will bring my 2 Vachiga and they will and they will finish the whole area in 2 weeks. No. Plus, I would probably attribute this to either the Ministry of Agriculture or the agencies that are helping with promoting agriculture. It is much cheaper here in Ipiji to hire a tractor because it is per acre, it is about 150,000.
Oh, removing stumps or
No, not
cultivating?
removing stumps, simply digging the area.
Plowing out.
So you see that area,
Mhm.
digging it up, and
Mhm.
with the tractor, that would be about 150,000,
Mm,
which
that
I
is-
did not expect. Before I started, I thought it would be 500,000. In fact, I was in another area where I asked, I said, I have a third of an acre. What do we do? A fellow said, I am going to charge you 500,000.
For digging.
Yes, with my tractor. So I had given up on it, but for some reason here, probably it's because of those promotional
Wow.
plans.
So this area, you have at least the capital, the kind of machinery to
Yes.
help out
Yes.
at a good kind of rate.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's a big advantage.
Yeah, so once it has cleared the area, then you want to pass through with your normal hoe to make sure the soil is now finer, because the tractor will,
Sometimes can be rough.
yes, it can be rough. Well, you can also plow it and make it finer, but those are extra expenses.
Exactly.
So that's when you bring in your Mchiga man to do his work. Yes, then you transplant. So from the nursery bed to the garden, you transplant, and you do the rest of the processes that happen when in the 3 months. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Our dear viewers, we were delighted to have Harry, the proprietor, who is taking us through the tomato growing. We are going for a short commercial break, and when we are back, we shall continue with the process. Thank you so much.